Welcome back again, day 2, Arnold Classic 2024. With us right now, Mr. Johnnie O. Jackson.
Hey.
Welcome to the podcast, brother.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
All right, man.
Good to have you here.
Yep, for sure.
Johnnie, how many times, well, first of all, how many times have you competed in the Arnold?
You know, not as much as the Olympia, tell you the truth.
Right.
And the reason why I hate wintertime training.
Okay.
Like, I hate doing cardio during the winter because you got to change clothes. You know, you're out in the cold, do cardio. You need to change your clothes before you take off or whatever like that. And
Right.
I hate being cold.
Wow, so you're just like, no,
I'm
thanks,
black,
I'm good.
dude. I hate being cold. Trust
you,
me.
man. I got
and,
you.
So in saying that, I think I've only done the Arnold 5 or 6 times.
Right. What's your best placing at the Arnold?
3rd place.
Okay.
Was my best. That year, Dexter won. Ben Pulowski got 2nd, and I got 3rd.
Okay. What year was
that 2013?
I think so.
Year before you won it, huh?
Yeah, because I dropped out 2013. 11 and 12, I finished 2nd behind Branch.
Yeah.
And 13 was like, oh, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Then I was 3rd at Olympia, and then I did the Arnold. I won the Arnold.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Nice, man. So you're with Allmax. How's it going this weekend?
It's excellent. Like we were just talking about earlier, it's just great to see the crowd coming back. You know, the last few years.
Is this the biggest you think it's been since like COVID?
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh,
I've been back here. We walked around once, and it was pretty much shoulder to shoulder. So great turnout, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
It's exciting to think Arnold's back now, you know?
Right, right.
I mean, all of us has been watching everything and kind of worried about, what's going on. And I don't think bodybuilding is going anywhere per se, but you got to worry about the popularity, and, how significant will it be in the future,
I think that the year, like COVID pandemic stuff in 2020 messed up a lot, so, and I'm glad to see it's kind of like back in the days, look at the expo today. It's craziness here, it's insane what's going on. It's good to see though.
Yeah, for sure. Only thing that I have to say is difference. There's more influencers than back in the day when it was more nutrition companies and like the pure core bodybuilding companies, and now we have influencers in our lives.
Yeah, exactly. How long have you been with Allmax now?
It's been about 5 years now.
Nice.
With Allmax, so it's been a blessing and a half because I'm older now, and I was with Mutant before I was with Allmax, and once that contract ran out, I pretty much thought, this is pretty much it for me.
Right.
With supplement contracts.
And then they stepped in.
And then they stepped in.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I actually, and hopefully maybe this will help some people out there that's looking. Connected with this website, or I signed up for this website called Open Sponsorship.
Okay.
And what they do is they seek out pro athletes, whether it's bodybuilding, football, baseball, no matter what it is, and connect them with companies that are looking for that athlete to promote their new products old products or whatever the fact is. So
it's almost like an online agent, basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
Wow, and so I got an email saying Allmax needed a pro bodybuilder to do 5 videos for $2,000. So I was like, shit, that's what I do.
Right.
So I filled out the email and sent it in. And so ironically, this guy Matt that was with me in Mutant worked for Allmax. So he called me on my phone.
He probably didn't think, JohnnieOJackson, I know that guy.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
I hit send, and 3 minutes later, he called me on my phone. He was like, hey, I got your application.
Is this the real Johnnie Jackson?
He was like, hey, this is weird.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was like, yeah, I did do it. And he was like, well, I'm going to choose you. I was like, you better.
Right.
You kidding me? And then I told him, I was like, watch, after the 5th or at the 5th video, they're going to offer me a contract because that's what I do.
Right.
This is why he was like, yeah, I'm sure. And for shit, that 5th video, Matt called me and offered me a contract.
Nice.
So
awesome,
that was awesome. But what was really awesome was we made out a salary, and within 3 months, he talked to the owner, Mike, the owner of Allmax. or he called Matt, and had Matt called me and asked me would I accept another $500 on top of my salary because he was impressed with the work that I was doing.
I'm good. I won't take that.
So I mean, who does that?
Right, that's awesome, man.
Who
good
does
people,
that?
man.
That's
really
congrats,
cool.
man. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's feedback. Like, they care. They constantly, pat you on your back saying, good job, good footage, good work, a lot of communication, so we're all on the same page.
Nice.
So it's been really excellent with these guys.
So I want to know what's Allmax's best pre-workout? What's the best one going right now?
I think Impact Extreme.
Impact Extreme.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Nice.
When I'm going to go train.
Yeah.
But when I'm training people, I like the A cuts.
Okay.
And I make sure Matt's not around. One of the managers, because he's like, Johnny, you're not my A cuts guy.
Right. All right. Yeah,
because it's more of a pre-workout dumbed down to where it's not the energy factor, it's more of awareness.
Right, and we're doing that too. We have a product, our Big Bad Pre is similar to that, and then we got Focus Fuel, which, and I tell people, Dennis, I agree, it's our favorite product.
Yep.
Little less stim, more nootropic focus. For us older guys, man, that's what we need. I don't need my heart to go 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. So you know exactly what I mean.
That's exactly what we're kind of trying to do there. So
I think at our age, it's
it's
not
play,
smart
man.
thing to do. High stim pre-workouts.
Absolutely.
Well,
I can drink that. So you can drink that throughout the day.
Yeah.
Training clients or whatever you're doing, you feel a little run down, and you can drink it, feel good, and not worry about the big crash at the end or not falling asleep at night.
Stuff, right.
So definitely, if you guys want a product to you know what I mean, to get you guys going but not crash you as well, got to look into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So where I was going with this, obviously you're connected with Branch Warren, and you guys, y'all still train together a lot?
Not
as much.
Life is different now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The gym isn't
Well,
priority.
you're not competing, and
gym isn't priority, and our families are, and and work is. So I mean, we don't live too far away from each other, but and we talk quite a bit, but to get that connection to be able to work out, it's a little bit more difficult now than it was before.
What I was going to ask you was, y'all exchange pre-workouts? I know Branch has that new one out for him. What's Branch's new product called? The Warren. Anyway, I want to see if they guys were swapping it. Hey, man,
I remember actually.
Let me dry scoop your, Branch.
Can you imagine seeing us in the backyard
Oh,
swapping?
yeah.
Pre-workouts,
ago,
drinking it. We're all like buzzed out, red-eyed, buzzed out. It's like,
let's go.
Come on, one more shot. One more shot.
Exactly. So we'll stick with the toned down one. So,
but Johnny, back in the days when you guys trained together, did you use any kind of pre-workouts, or there was just like
zero,
right?
Zero.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
But I think back then the pre-workouts were not so big.
It wasn't.
I think like back then BSN came out with No Explode, things like that. So and that took off a little bit, right?
Yeah, like rocket takeoff.
As I can remember, there was nothing like that.
We all not like we have now.
Maybe we got some, I don't know, citrulline. That's it.
Yeah, not
maybe.
even that.
Yes, maybe.
Got a little bit of a funny. It's funny to me. It might not be funny to everybody, But one of my clients was always curious, you know what I mean? Because he was like, "I'm getting trained by JohnnieOJackson. I want to train with you guys." So I was like, "Cool, come on down to Metroflex Arlington, and you can train with us today." So he was all excited. They came down. We were doing back and stuff like that. And so we just, make a long story short, we destroyed. When we did a regular workout, he was destroyed. Actually, I was destroyed, so I know he was hurting.
Right.
And I think he said he fell asleep in his truck for about 30 minutes after we finished the workout. And so the next day, I trained him and his wife. My client trained his wife also. So she came in the gym and was like, "What did you do to my husband?"
Right.
And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
You just trained with us. Come here, I'll show you. You put her through it or what?
Yeah, we just trained. And she was like, "Well, he said you guys took something." He said,
"Here we go."
He said, I was like, "What are you talking about? We all was standing together the whole time."
Right.
And he was like, he said that, when he turned his back, you guys had to take something real quick behind his back, because he never seen any two guys work out that hard.
He thought you guys were on
fast,
something, right?
That heavy, in the time frame that we did, without any hesitation.
Right.
So I was like, no, it's called motivation and want to win and want to be the best. That's what it's called. Nice. You know, it absolutely didn't need.
You can't sell
anything.
Out the bottle.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Man.
We didn't need anything to get us motivated. I mean, it was just a fact of that's what we did.
Yeah, I totally believe it. I mean, it was like that way, right?
Yeah,
so you had the drive.
Yeah.
You know, so I still remember that feeling. I don't have it now.
But you know, look at all our physiques. You know, we could go and compete, and most of the time you didn't get the placing you wanted to get unless it was number one.
Right.
None of us win thinking I'll be okay with second.
Yeah,
or I'll be okay with third or
yeah.
whatever. We always want first place. But on the other hand, you can get up on stage and work your ass off and not get first place, but still walk away proud.
Absolutely.
Because that guy to the left and right of you was in such pristine shape. It was like, holy crap. And they could switch a guy 2 places, down from you, and nobody would blink an eye.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a problem.
Everybody was just that close.
On that level, right.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember that. That was, highest level ever.
Really?
Maybe like the top 6, where, you could switch it up. Nobody will complain.
Nobody would complain at all.
Man, so speaking of competing, man, I know when I saw you at Destination a few weeks ago, I threw out there, hey, man, I want to see you at the Masters Olympia. You was like, man, I may not be done. Branch is like, I'm over and I'm done. Is that still something you would entertain in the back of your mind, or would it have to be just the right circumstance? And, I mean, how old do you get to where you're like, all right, I probably don't need to get up there anymore?
I don't know, man. Most of my life, or all my life, I never say never about anything. You never know. You know, things happen. For example, I was in the military for 10 years, and I thought that's where I was going to retire. You know what I mean? Like, there was no doubt in my mind. And my brother passed away, my oldest brother, while I was in the military. And that made me get out, and he wanted to become a pro bodybuilder, not me.
Right.
And that made me get out, and
awesome.
I started, training and figuring out how to do shows and this, that, and the other, because it was helping the grieving part. But it was like we were doing something together, And so then all of a sudden, 4 years later, I turned pro and started heading down the road.
I told him this when he was at Destination. I did that show when he started out. It was Marvin Meinstein's like Southwest Natural or something like that. And Johnnie was like novice, right? So back then, you couldn't cross over and just pay an extra fee to do open. You had to win novice and then open, which in my opinion is the way it should be now, right? But they like to get those entry fees. Exactly. But dude, I saw this dude when he was a novice, man. That's wild, right? I think I was 17. It was my first show. And I remember just seeing him like, that guy's going to be pretty good. And then, like, I followed you through your career, and, like, here we are now, best traps in bodybuilding, which I think they were pretty big back then. But that's awesome, man. But I would love to see you, man, up there at Masters, Olympia, if the situation's right.
Yeah, so who knows? I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say yes. It's too early to commit because it's in 2025.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I feel good. I'm in good health.
I mean, I thought that was cool that they at least brought it back. I think that's cool, man. Guys, and understanding it is the Masters. It's not them in their prime, but they still look amazing for their age. And, who knows? I mean, Hide did it last year, won the 212. And who was it the one to open? Who was it the one to open Masters?
Kamal.
Kamal was an open.
Right,
yes.
right. And
I mean, he's 50 years old and looks so incredible.
He's 53. He was 53 when he won it. Yeah, and he looked incredible.
Yeah, I know.
He did the Battle of Texas before then, and he got third
in the open.
And I thought he could have got second. Easy,
yes.
His back was phenomenal.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, he's doing that. Hey, I was competing against him in 2005 in Shanghai, China.
Oh, wow.
And he looked incredible there.
And it was like, almost 15 years later until he went IFBB, right?
And he was 212 Olympia. Yeah. Can you imagine? He was world champion. I mean, just the way up to, being Mr. Olympia, 212 Olympia, it's incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible.
And also, he stopped for a while, competing like for 5 years, and then jumped back on it and turned pro. And of course, then you've seen his career. Yes, it's crazy.
Great story, man. He seems
one
like
of
a nice guy
physiques.
too. I haven't met him, but he
oh
seems
my
like a good
God,
guy.
yes, he is.
Yeah.
A nice
good
guy.
family guy.
Yep,
good guy.
Sure.
Nice, good deal, man. Well, shoot, man. That's all I got. Short and sweet, brother. So you'll be here through tomorrow at that.
Yeah, for sure. But we got to talk about me and Dennis also.
Oh, man.
And just short, real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
I just remember, of course, you remember the Australian show that we competed in. And what year was that?
That was close. 2011.
Yeah. My God, I can't forget that because, man, I remember getting off stage, walking backstage, and I literally like lost it. I was so exhausted.
Right.
I mean, squeezing so hard. I mean, I couldn't help it. Tears, just like, I was like, what the hell's wrong with me? But my body was just.
But do you remember how many comparisons we got?
Oh my God, that's what I'm saying.
They were squeezing out everything of us. I mean, I don't know, just us, right?
Yeah.
So back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Just us,
Dennis and Johnnie, center stage.
Hey, I at least 4.
Really?
Absolutely.
Hey, I was dying too, you know. So,
well,
and, I mean, that was the year he was in incredible shape.
Yeah.
You know, and I was worried because, I mean, he was getting close and close.
That is core comparisons, obviously. Y'all both had a reason to be worried, right?
If they do that, that many comparisons, it means it's very, very close.
Yeah.
Right.
Like yesterday with Hadi and Samson.
Exactly.
You know, they did 3, right?
Yep, exactly. I was like, holy crap, watching
We understand. I could feel it. Man, that's nasty.
Yeah. So the emotions that built up out of that, it just exploded afterwards, man.
Yeah.
And I was like,
story,
wow.
man.
The thing is, I mean, that's Tony. You know, his promotion, and he always doing this. So the winner had to take pictures with everyone. So I won the show, right?
After the show, you're not
and there were
done.
like 600 people in it. So another 2 hours, I was taking pictures, and I was like, God.
Damn.
Did they let you carve up in between? Like,
No. Like, hey, everyone went like on stage and back down. Like, and I think there was Aaron's turn. That was figure or something, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, she won. Yes,
absolutely. Yeah.
That was so crazy. Can you imagine? You're so exhausted. Like Johnnie said, right? I was the same, man. I was like, I can't stand anymore. And then you have to take pictures. Of course, I mean, if you win, all, you know, like, how you call it? All your hormones like explode.
A rush of adrenaline.
But it's like what, 10 minutes maybe?
Right.
And
A big
then
rush
like,
of adrenaline, and after you got done working like that, then a big rush of adrenaline, and then a dump.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
That was tough, man. It was tough.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a great story, man.
Yeah, but it was, anyways, great time. Like Johnnie said, it was always so close, but we knew, I mean, every one of us could be the winner, you know. So, and we were not mad at each other, but we were mad maybe, oh, fuck, I couldn't, you know, man, what did I didn't do to win it? You know, what was the missing point? Something like that. You always were asking yourself, not like, oh, why did he win? Or why, you know? So it was not the case.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, we were never being like mad at each other. Maybe people think also when I lost to Branch, I was never mad at him. I was mad at me, and also same with Branch. You know, I mean,
you really get to, like, in that heat of that battle, man. It's just you and that other guy, and you guys just, I don't know, just souls. Meet, you know what I mean? I mean, you can't be mad. Like, people don't get it. You're on the outside looking in, and you know, you see expressions and all that stuff, and then you want to judge. But man, you have so much respect for that guy you just battle with on stage like that, you know, toe to toe.
That's what it is. Respect. We have a lot of respect. I still do, you know, all the guys competing today, I respect them because I know what it is. I know how hard it is. But we will never gonna do or talk bad, you know, never. It was all kind of like this. Anyway.
But that also brings me to say, that's the difference, some of the difference in then than it is today, because there's not enough guys competing. You know, in the shows between the Arnold and the Olympia. You know what I mean? We had awesome lineups at the Ironman, at San Francisco Pro,
New York
at the Night of Champions, New York Pro.
I mean, the top guys were always
competing. You had always one or two,
maybe
sometimes
Mr. Olympia didn't compete, right? But the rest were.
But everybody else, You had some of the top 5 guys from the Olympia always
in every show.
Every show, not one or two.
Not just
every
Arnold.
show.
So we were never safe that somebody
like,
didn't show up, but always somebody was there.
You know that personally because it was like you said the year you did that show kind of as a warm-up, right? And then like Fuad come in and beat you and something.
Yes,
and then you won the Arnold like a few weeks later, right?
Yeah, there was the Flex Pro. I ended up finishing fourth. Yeah. So Fuad beat me, Evans and Tapani and Dexter.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
But 2 weeks later,
but did you hear
all the guys were behind me.
You can't be mad at that, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
it's the top of the top, so the best of the best.
So it's not surprising he goes to Arnold, tweak a little bit, go to the Arnold, and bam.
And that was always this way. So it didn't mean that if you win the next 5 shows. No, it was like always exchange.
It is. It's more like that now.
And it means iron sharpen iron.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You got to step up your game.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
God,
awesome, man.
great times, man.
Yeah.
I miss it sometimes when we start talking about it. It's like,
absolutely.
Man, my heart hurts.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
hey, it's the best. But
it's a different
it's a good thing to have these memories, and we know we did everything, to be up there. And
ultimately, in your career, this is where you want to be at the end of it. Is talking about those grand moments that people remember, that you remember, that other people remember, that made history, and so you left a mark in the world, and that's,
absolutely,
that's wonderful.
And we respect each other. That's a good thing, still having, good time, every time we meet, hey, man, it's like seeing your family,
Yeah,
Well, next time you
100%.
come to Dallas, let's get Branch on here.
Absolutely.
And we'll have a 4-way because I want to hear some more stories.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All
right, man.
Cool.
Well, you guys have a good rest of the show. You'll be out there with Allmax tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So, all right, man.
Be back
thank you for coming on, Johnny.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Great having you here.
We'll wrap it up.
Come on. It's Dennis Wolf. Who wouldn't show up?
I love it.
JohnnieOJackson.
I love it. All right, man. Well, it's been an honor to hear you guys' stories.
Absolutely.
So, all right,
thank you,
we'll do it again.
Thank you.
All right.
Dennis.
Check you on the next one.